Okay, we in the last lecture we have discussed some problems on sphere and also logarithmic mean uh, area for the sphere and some problems on sphere. Okay, so today we are going to start one important concept. Okay, so that concept is critical thickness of insulation or critical radius of insulation. Okay, so write down the heading as critical thickness of insulation or uh, uh, critical thickness oblique radius of insulation. Critical thickness oblique radius of insulation. Critical thickness oblique radius of insulation. So up till now we have discussed that and we have understood what is meant by insulation. Okay, so insulation means one material or any of the material which retard the flow of heat significantly. Okay, okay? Which retard the flow of heat significantly. Such a materials will be considered as a insulating material. Such a material are considered as a insulating material. Getting everyone? Now we know that even a conductor also resists the flow of heat. Okay, even a conductor, good conductor of heat, also resists the also provides some resistance for the flow of heat. But the insulator, one can say that there is a effective retardation for the flow of heat. Okay, effective retardation means what? Maximum flow of heat will be stopped after implementation of a insulation. Okay, or maximum amount of resistance will be provided by the insulating material for the flow of heat. So this particular insulating material or insulation, it will prevent the flow of heat from the system to the surrounding or from the surrounding to the system, depends on the application. Okay, so if you say that if you are considering the application of a boiler, so in that case we have, if you want to increase the effectiveness or efficiency of that particular boiler, so we have to reduce the heat transfer from the boiler to the surrounding. Okay, from the boiler to the surrounding. Whereas if you take the another application, that the air conditioning. Okay, air conditioning application. So in air conditioning system, whatever the pipelines are there which are transforming the cold fluid or the cold air from one position to another position, so in that case that particular pipelines may capture the heat from the surrounding. So whenever we want to reduce that particular heat capturing from the surrounding to the flowing fluid, so in that case we have to provide the insulation. So in that case we can say that we are applying the insulation to avoid the heat transfer from the surrounding to the system. Okay, from the surrounding to the system. So in such a manner we can use these particular insulations to prevent the heat flow from the system to the surrounding or from the surrounding to the system. Okay, getting everyone? So generally, insulation means what? A material which retards the flow of heat with reasonable effectiveness is known as insulation. Okay, material which retards the flow of heat with reasonable effectiveness is known as insulation, and it prevents the heat flow from the system to the surrounding, and also it prevents the heat flow from the surrounding to the system. Okay, so take various application for the example purpose. So boilers and steam pipes, where we want to reduce the heat transfer from the boilers to the surrounding. So in that case we have to apply some insulation over the boilers or the steam pipes, so that heat transfer will get reduced. Okay, so then air conditioning system, as we have discussed now only. In air conditioning system, we are transferring the cold fluid from the one part of a system to the another part of system. In that case we want to reduce the heat transfer from surrounding to that particular fluid. So we need to apply the insulation over the pipelines of air conditioning system or over the air conditioner. Okay, then food preserving stores are there. We know the cold storages. So extra insulation materials are used for the cold storages, or if you take the simple example, refrigerator. Okay, if you take the refrigerator also, And if you check the cut section of that particular refrigerator, so thermocol is used in between two walls, inner wall and outer wall. So that will act as a one kind of a insulator in case of a refrigerator. Okay, and that will avoid the flow of heat from the surrounding to the system. Okay, so it will avoid the heat flow from outer surrounding to the inside cooling chamber. Okay, then the furnaces. Okay, furnaces are used to boil some material or heat up some material. Okay, and the efficiency of such furnaces are very low. And if you want to improve the efficiency, so the in sense that you will get better heating performance of from that particular furnace, so in that case you have to use the insulation, so that the heat leakage from furnace to the surrounding will get reduced. Okay, heat leakage from furnace to the surrounding will get reduced. So fire bricks are the mostly used insulating material or insulating product in case of a furnace. Okay, which will resist the flow of heat from the furnace to the surrounding. Then one of the example we have discussed related to the liquid nitrogen. So that is nothing but preservation of a liquid gases. Okay, preservation of a liquid gases. So in case of preservation of liquid gases, we have to maintain the cooling temperature or the cooling chamber temperature less than minus 100 degrees Celsius. So in that case, we should have such a system that there should not be a maximum heat leakage, or there should be a minimum heat leakage from surrounding to that particular cooling chamber, so that that particular liquid gases will remain in a liquid phase only. Okay, or else it will get boils off and it will get converted from the liquid state to the gaseous state. Okay, so the preservation of liquid gases is one of the application for the insulation. There are number of application. We can see that on simple wiring. Okay, so whatever the wires we are using, so on that particular wires the insulations are provided. So first important factor to provide the insulation over the wire is nothing but the safety of person which is handling that particular wire. And another thing is, it is also important and it is related to the critical radius of insulation, because once we are transferring the electricity through that particular wire, it will convert uh, the wire also provide the resistance for the flow of electricity, and that particular resistance uh, of a wire will generate or will convert the electrical energy into heat energy. So if you want to reduce that particular generation of electric or that particular conversion of electrical energy into heat energy, so in that case also there is the best example of a insulation. Okay, providing the insulation with a appropriate diameter, with a appropriate diameter, or we can say that appropriate radius. So that radius will be considered as a critical thickness of radius. So we will discuss the concept in detail after this particular point. Okay, so then what are the different factors if you are going to select any particular material as an insulating material? So what factors we have to consider? Okay, so first one is nothing but or we can say that which are the different factors which are acting on this particular property to resist the flow of heat. Okay, so that factors we are going to discuss in this particular point. So temperature, so we have discussed in the initial case of thermal conductivity. While discussing the thermal conductivity, non-metals thermal conductivity increases with increasing temperature. So our insulators are nothing but one kind of a non-conducting material. Okay, so or non-metals. Okay, one kind of a non-metal. Okay, so that materials are, will be considered as a insulator only. So in case of a insulator also, if you increase the temperature, thermal conductivity of that particular insulating material increases. 1 minute, wait for 1 minute, electricity problem. Wait for a while. Okay. 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 Please pay attention over here now. Okay. So there is some problem about the electricity from last 2 days in the college. So due to that, this is happening. We are discussing the factors affecting on thermal conductivity of insulating material. So first factor we can consider as a temperature. So what is the effect of a temperature and why we need to consider this particular temperature effect? So we have discussed that one point that in case of a metal, because of a two methods or there are two methods to transfer the heat from one part of a substance to another part of substance. One is nothing but one phenomenon is, one can say that the transformation of electrons, and second phenomenon is due to due to the vibration of, or due to the lattice vibration or molecular vibration, the heat will transfer from one part of a substance to the another part of a substance. But this particular concept, the free electrons are not available for non-metal materials. So in that case, the heat will transfer because of a one phenomenon only, that is nothing but due to lattice vibration, or we can say that molecular vibration. And as the temperature goes on increasing, the lattice vibration or molecules will vibrate very rapidly at their mean position, and because of that, the more heat will be transferred, or the ability to transfer the heat will get increased in case of a non-metals. So insulating material is one kind of a non-metal, and so that we can consider as temperature effect on that particular non-metals. As we increase the temperature of insulating material, the value of thermal conductivity, that is nothing but K, goes on increasing. Okay. And the second part or second factor we are going to consider as a density. Okay, so there is no direct relationship, or there is no established mathematical relationship between the thermal conductivity and density. But there is one common understanding that higher density insulating material have higher value of thermal conductivity. But it is not always true in all the cases. Okay, but it is not true in all the cases. Okay, so what is the common perception? That higher denser material having higher thermal conductivity, or higher denser insulating material having higher thermal conductivity. But there is no such a mathematical relationship between density and thermal conductivity, which shows that as the density increases, thermal conductivity increases; as the density decreases, thermal conductivity increases. But there is a one perception about this particular factor, that higher denser insulating material have higher thermal conductivity. Okay, but it is not true. Okay, then the third one is the direction of flow, heat flow. So direction of heat flow means what? Whether you are transforming the heat from vertical direction, horizontal direction, or from the downward direction. Okay, so what is the orientation of your object in case of a conduction? So actually there is no uh, effect on thermal conductivity of direction of heat flow, or we can say that there is always negligible effect on the direction of heat flow on a thermal conductivity. Okay, so for the most of the insulating material, the effect of direction of heat flow on the value of K is negligible. Okay, then fourth point is the moisture. Okay, fourth factor is the moisture. Okay, so we always seen that that the moisture plays very important role in case of electricity also. Okay, so whenever there is a moisture or if your hand is somewhat uh, wet, in that case you will get more current, or the electricity will attract more in that case. So actually moisture in case of a insulating material is one kind of avoidable thing. Okay, so if you ingress, or if there is a ingress of moisture in the insulating material, then it will increase the thermal conductivity of that particular uh, material. But there is no relationship. However, the relationship establishment between the thermal conductivity and the moisture content, it is different for the different material. Okay, but there is no proper relationship between the moisture content and, or the damp material and dry material with the thermal conductivity. Okay, but it is always prevent to ingress of a moisture in the insulating material. Ingress means presence of a moisture in that particular insulating material. Insulation, why we are using insulation? We want to reduce the heat transfer. Okay, and if the moisture is present in that particular material, then it may be chance that the heat transfer will happen more in that particular case. So that it is always considered necessary to prevent the ingress of a moisture in the insulating material during the service. It is, however, difficult to find the effect of moisture on the value of K of a different insulating material. Then next point is air pressure. Okay, so it is found that experimentally it is found that the value of K decreases with increasing pressure. Decreases with increasing pressure. Okay, as the thermal conduct as the air pressure on, or the surface pressure on the object or the on the material goes on increasing, the thermal conductivity decreases. Okay, I'm saying inversely, as the as the pressure decreases, the thermal conductivity decreases. Okay, that is the right point. As the pressure decreases, the thermal conductivity decreases. And the last one is the convection in insulator. Okay, what is meant by convection in insulator? So if there are some voids present in, or the material you have selected is a porous material, and or there is a external environment over that particular material, and heat is transforming from insulating surface to the external environment. So that particular phenomena, that is nothing but a convection. Okay, that is nothing but a convection. And if this convection rate goes on increasing, the heat transfer rate is also goes on increasing through that particular insulator, okay, or insulating material. So the value of K increases due to phenomenon of convection in an insulator. The value of K increases due to phenomenon of a convection in insulator. So these are some of the factors we have to consider while selecting appropriate insulating material for the particular application. Okay, which are different factors. The first one is the temperature, second one is the density, third one is direction of heat flow, fourth one is moisture, fifth one is air pressure, and last sixth one is a convection in insulator. Getting everyone? Okay. So the next point is critical thickness of insulation. Okay, important point, important concept. Okay, so most of the time in examination this concept will ask, or in the interview also this concept plays very important role. Okay, if you are attending interviews like Alpha Laval or heat manufacturing company, so in that case also this critical thickness of insulation question may be asked by the interviewer to the candidate. Okay, so pay more attention to understand this particular concept, and the concept is somewhat complicated, but you have to be focused on a technical knowledge. Okay, technical knowledge. Okay, we will go thoroughly, we try to understand thoroughly. Okay, just pay attention. Okay, does not need to write anything, I will give more time to for the writing purpose. Okay, so initially consider one wall is there. Okay, so wall is having L1 thickness, this is the wall. Okay, so base wall is there or plain wall is there, this is initial wall is having L1 thickness. Okay, and over this particular wall if you apply one insulating material, okay, over this particular wall, this second rectangle, you can see that we have applied one insulating material over the plain wall. Okay, and that particular insulating material having thickness of L2. Okay, that particular insulating material is having thickness L2. Okay, now one surface of that particular wall is maintained at a T1 degree Celsius temperature, and the insulating material surface, outer material surface or insulating outer surface is maintained at a T2 temperature. Okay, and out of that particular wall there is environment. Okay, here the dotted blue lines I have shown, or I have drawn that particular dotted blue lines. So that shows that there is there is environment after this particular wall. Okay, or air is present after this particular wall, and that air is having T suffix Cf temperature, or cold fluid is present over that particular wall, and that particular cold fluid is having temperature of a T suffix Cf. Okay, now now T1 is greater than T2. Okay, consider that T1 is greater than T2, so that we can say that the heat is flowing from higher temperature to the lower temperature. Heat is flowing from higher temperature to lower temperature. So Q amount of heat is flowing across this particular wall. We are saying that Q amount of heat is flowing across this particular wall. Okay, so and here the direction of heat flow is also shown. Direction of heat flow is also shown. So how we have to determine the heat transfer in this particular wall case? Okay, so we can say that within this particular first wall, okay, or we can say that this is the A wall. Okay, this is the A wall. So in this wall the heat will transfer by conduction, and this particular insulating material heat will transfer by conduction only, and from the insulating material surface to the environment heat will transfer by convection mode of heat transfer. By convection mode of heat transfer, let us consider that the thermal conductivity of this particular base wall is K suffix A, thermal conductivity of insulating wall is K suffix B, and the heat transfer coefficient between wall and external environment is H0 or H suffix A, let it be anything. Okay, and the thickness of wall 1 is L1 and thickness of wall B is L2. Okay, now here we have to write the heat transfer equation, that is nothing but Q for this particular wall case. Okay, how to write that particular equation, that is more important. So we know that one formula, that Q is equal to delta T divided by RTH. Okay, what is meant by that? Q is equal to overall temperature difference whole divided by total thermal resistance, addition of total thermal resistance. So we are going to consider that equation, Q is equal to dt divided by RTH. But here, to apply this particular equation, we should know what are the different thermal resistance in case of a conduction and in case of a convection. Okay, so we have considered this equation, Q is equal to dt divided by RTH. Okay, overall temperature difference whole divided by summation of all the thermal resistance. So what are the different thermal resistance are there? So this wall will oppose the this wall will provide the thermal resistance. This wall is also provide the thermal resistance for the conduction, and for the convection also there is a thermal resistance offered for the heat transfer from external surface of a insulator to the external environment. Okay, so these three thermal resistance addition we have considered as RTH. Okay, so we know that in case of a wall, thermal resistance offered for the conduction, that is nothing but L divided by K multiplied by A. So wall A will offer the thermal resistance of L1 divided by K suffix A multiplied by A. That is the thickness of wall A whole divided by thermal conductivity of wall A multiplied by area available for the heat transfer. So that area is nothing but perpendicular surface area. Okay, we have discussed the 3D diagram also. So this is the heat transfer and this is the perpendicular surface area for the heat transfer. Okay, perpendicular surface area for the heat transfer. I mean, I'm giving more focus on an area. Okay, so L1 divided by K suffix A multiplied by area plus for the wall B or the insulating material, whatever the insulating material we have provided, that insulating material will offer the thermal resistance of L2 divided by K suffix B multiplied by area plus now heat will transfer from this particular surface to the external environment. Okay, from this particular surface to the external environment, and that heat transfer is nothing but a convection heat transfer. And in this case, for the wall, the resistance for the convection heat transfer is nothing but 1 divided by H multiplied by A. 1 divided by H multiplied by A. So total thermal resistance will be the addition of all three thermal resistance. Total thermal resistance is the addition of all thermal resistance. So we will get the equation as Q is equal to dt divided by L1 divided by K suffix A multiplied by area plus L2 divided by K suffix B multiplied by area plus 1 upon H multiplied by area, where this H is nothing but convective heat transfer coefficient. H is nothing but convective heat transfer coefficient. So we can write easily this equation for the wall. Now if you want to change this particular thickness, okay, listen this question. If you want to change this thickness, let us say initially the thickness of insulation is 10 centimeter. Okay, initially the thickness of insulation is 10 centimeter, and if you add up extra 5 centimeter, so total insulation thickness will become 15 centimeter. Okay, if you add up 5 extra more thickness of insulation over this particular L2, so total thickness of insulation will become L2 become 15 centimeter. Okay, now here if you add up the thickness, over the wall, okay, so is there any change in a area? Is there any change in a area for the heat transfer? Okay, area available for the heat transfer. जब हमने क्या किया, जो इनिशियल इंसुलेशन का थिकनेस है उसमें वो थिकनेस उस थिकनेस में और 5 सेंटीमीटर और बढ़ाया, तो जो एरिया परपेंडिकुलर टू हीट ट्रांसफर में है उसमें कुछ चेंज होगा या नहीं? ओके, जो एरिया परपेंडिकुलर टू हीट ट्रांसफर है उसमें कुछ चेंज होगा या नहीं? सिंपल क्वेश्चन. आंसर दिस क्वेश्चन, एवरीवन आंसर दिस क्वेश्चन. हमने थिकनेस बढ़ाया यहाँ पे, ओके, लेट अस से L2 हमने यहाँ पे बढ़ाया, और L2 बढ़ाने के बाद जो एरिया परपेंडिकुलर टू हीट ट्रांसफर है वो वैसा ही रहेगा या चेंज होगा? हमने खाली थिकनेस बढ़ाया है. ओके, हमने खाली थिकनेस बढ़ाया है, तो एरिया बढ़ेगा या नहीं? एरिया बढ़ेगा या नहीं? इन केस ऑफ अ वॉल, एरिया, विच एरिया? परपेंडिकुलर एरिया फॉर द फ्लो ऑफ हीट. आप इमेजिन कीजिएगा कि हमने थिकनेस बढ़ाया तो एरिया में कुछ बदला आया या नहीं? You can unmute and answer this question, or else you can put up your answer in the chat box. Whether area will get increase or not? Yes or no? Area will get increase, yes or no? If you'll understand this concept, then and then only we'll move ahead. हमने खाली थिकनेस बदला है, ओके हमने खाली थिकनेस बदला है, तो उसका थिकनेस चेंज करने का जो इफेक्ट है वो एरिया पर पड़ेगा या नहीं? एरिया में कुछ बदलाव आएगा या नहीं? यस, ओके, वन आंसर इज यस, एरिया चेंज हो जाएगा, ओके। So, is there any answer? Imagine. No. Okay. Okay. Another answer is no. Just imagine. Take a 3D view. 3D व्यू निकालो इसका, हमने वन डायमेंशनल व्यू देखा है ये, तो 3D व्यू पे हमने देख लिया है पहले भी, तो 3D व्यू निकालो और चेक करो कि हमने थिकनेस खाली बढ़ाया तो परपेंडिकुलर सरफेस एरिया जो है उसमें कुछ बदल आएगा या नहीं? Imagine. Everyone, imagine. Just put up your answer in the chat box. I think I have to show you image. I think metal wall. No, someone saying no. Okay, so I think I don't have image. ओके, हाँ, ये इमेज हमें, सो दिस इज द परपेंडिकुलर सरफेस एरिया। अब हमने खाली फ्रंट व्यू लिया है, ओके, फ्रंट व्यू देखा है। अब ये dx थिकनेस है, ओके, dx थिकनेस है, हमने खाली थिकनेस बढ़ाया तो परपेंडिकुलर सरफेस एरिया पे कुछ इफेक्ट होगा या नहीं, ये मेरा क्वेश्चन है। अब तो इमेजिन कर लो, थिकनेस बढ़ाया तो परपेंडिकुलर सरफेस एरिया पे कुछ इफेक्ट आएगा या नहीं? विच इज द परपेंडिकुलर सरफेस एरिया फॉर द हीट ट्रांसफर? So this is the direction of heat transfer and this is the perpendicular surface area for the heat transfer. What will be the effect on area? Is there any effect? Yes or no? कैसे इफेक्ट आएगा? हमने खाली थिकनेस बढ़ाया है, ओके, यहाँ पे थिकनेस बढ़ाया, ये dx थिकनेस बढ़ाया, एरिया तो वैसा की वैसा रहेगा, ओके, वहां पे कुछ भी इफेक्ट नहीं मिलेगा आपको, एरिया वैसा ही रहेगा, एरिया कांस्टेंट ही रहेगा, ओके। देयर विल नॉट बी एनी इफेक्ट इन केस ऑफ वॉल इफ यू इंक्रीज द थिकनेस ऑफ दैट पर्टिकुलर वॉल, ओके। dx हमने बढ़ाया तो उसके हाइट पे और लेंथ पे कुछ इफेक्ट कैसे मिलेगा? नहीं मिलेगा, तो खाली थिकनेस ही बढ़ेगा उस केस में, एरिया नहीं बढ़ेगा, ओके। सो दैट आई वांट टू शो ओवर हियर, और आई वांट टू रिप्रेजेंट ओवर हियर। So if you change the thickness, okay, if you change the thickness L2, okay, if you change this L2 thickness, okay, so then also the area for the heat flow will remain same, okay. And if you increase L2, okay, if you increase L2, what will happen about the thermal resistance? What will happen about the thermal resistance? हमने thermal resistance यानी क्या थिकनेस डिवाइडेड बाय K मल्टीप्लाई बाय एरिया, एरिया तो वैसा रहेगा, थर्मल कंडक्टिविटी भी वैसी रहेगी। थिकनेस बढ़ गया यानी डिनोमिनेटर बढ़ गया, डिनोमिनेटर बढ़ा तो आपका थर्मल रेजिस्टेंस भी क्या होगा, बढ़ जाएगा। ओके, डिनोमिनेटर बढ़ा तो आपका थर्मल रेजिस्टेंस भी क्या होगा, बढ़ जाएगा। तो हमने in case of a wall, if you increase the thickness of a insulating material, okay, important point, in case of a wall, if you increase the thickness of insulating wall, the heat transfer rate will get decrease. okay, heat transfer rate decrease होगा। L2 इंक्रीज किया तो ये कंप्लीट थर्मल रेजिस्टेंस की टर्म क्या हो जाएगी, बढ़ जाएगी। तो डिनोमिनेटर क्या हुआ, बढ़ गया, तो ये टोटल वैल्यू क्या हो गई है आपकी, कम हो जाएगी। ये टोटल वैल्यू क्या होगी, कम होगी। न्यूमरेटर वैसे के वैसा है, डिनोमिनेटर बढ़ गया तो आपकी Q क्या होगा, कम हो जाएगा। Q क्या होगा, कम हो जाएगा। सो वी कैन से दैट इफ यू इंक्रीज द थिकनेस ऑफ इंसुलेशन, if you increase the thickness of insulation, there will not be any effect on a area in case of a wall. I'm specifically mentioning over here, in case of a wall, if you increase the thickness of insulation, then the area will remain constant only, but your heat transfer rate, total heat transfer rate will get decreased. Why it is decreased? Because the thermal resistance will increase. okay, thermal resistance क्यों बढ़ेगा, L2 बढ़ गया, L2 बढ़ गया तो ये टोटल वैल्यू बढ़ जाएगी। ओके, ये टोटल वैल्यू बढ़ जाएगी, जो डिनोमिनेटर की वैल्यू है वो बढ़ जाएगी, और ये वैल्यू बढ़ गई तो आपका Q क्या होगा, कम हो जाएगा। यानी कि आपने इंसुलेशन बढ़ाया और हीट ट्रांसफर रिड्यूस किया। ये बहुत ही सिंपल है वॉल केस में, ये बहुत ही सिंपल है वॉल केस में। ओके, सो वी कैन से दैट हियर इफ increase L2, RTH increases, that is the thermal resistance will get increases and Q will decrease. okay, Q will decrease. okay, resistance and Q क्या है, इनवर्सली प्रोपोर्शनल टू ईच अदर है। रेजिस्टेंस बढ़ गया तो थर्मल रेजिस्टेंस, हीट ट्रांसफर रेट क्या हो जाएगा, कम हो जाएगा। now we have to deep dive in our concept now. If you understand this, then we'll move ahead for the next point. If you have any doubt, you can ask now only. okay, if you have any doubt, you can now ask now only. okay, because the concept will become critical as our heading, critical thickness of insulation. Is there any question, any doubt in case of wall? Now we'll check about the cylinder. okay, consider now we are going to consider the cylindrical geometry. okay, now consider that there is one solid cylinder. okay, it is not a hollow one, it is completely solid, or we can say that there is no cavity present inside the cylinder. okay, so cylinder is completely solid. okay, so that I have shown it with a blue color. okay, that is cylinder is completely solid one. okay, consider one बार समजतोय का तुम्हाला, बार असतो एक रॉड जर कन्सिडर केला तर तो कसा असतो, कम्प्लिटली सॉलिड असतो. ओके, सो दॅट रॉड वी हॅव कन्सिडर्ड ओव्हर हियर. ओके, or else you can consider one wire is completely solid one, but it is having a length and cross section is circular one, so that it is a cylindrical geometry. It is a cylindrical geometry. So consider rod or consider one wire. okay, and that particular cylinder is having R1 radius. okay, that particular cylinder is having R1 radius. Now the solid cylinder surface is maintained at a T1 temperature, which is maintained at a T1 temperature. okay, now we have provided the insulation over this particular cylinder. okay, we have provided insulation over this cylinder, and radius of that particular insulation is R2. okay, radius of that particular insulation is R2. Thermal conductivity of that particular insulation is K. okay, thermal conductivity of that particular insulation is K. Now outer surface of that particular insulating material is maintained at a T2 temperature. okay, outer surface temperature of insulating material is T2. okay, outer surface temperature of insulating material is T2. Now this particular cylinder geometry is covered by one fluid, or it is covered by air. okay, covered by air, or environment is there. okay, and the temperature of that particular air is T suffix A. Okay, surrounding to that particular cylindrical geometry, there is air is present or surrounding is there, and whose temperature is T suffix A. Okay, and convective heat transfer coefficient between this particular outer surface of a insulating material and the external fluid or air is H naught. If you consider it, it is H naught. Okay, convective heat transfer coefficient in between insulating material and external environment is H naught. Okay, so this dotted green line shows there is environment present outside the cylinder. There is environment presence of an environment outside the cylinder. Okay, whether you understood the geometry, one rod we have considered, and it is covered by one insulating material, and out of and that particular geometry is covered by one fluid, or we can generally consider it is covered by surrounding air. Okay, now here we are going to consider the length of that particular solid cylinder or a bar is L meter. Okay, T1 is the surface temperature of a cylinder. T suffix A is the surrounding air temperature. Okay, we have considered T suffix A is the surrounding air temperature. H naught is the heat transfer coefficient at the outer surface. Okay, H naught we have considered the heat transfer coefficient between outer surface of an insulating material and the external environment. So H naught is the heat transfer coefficient at the outer surface of the insulation. Okay, then K is the thermal conductivity of insulating material. Consider K is the thermal conductivity of an insulating material. Okay, now if you want to write the heat transfer equation, okay, consider that T1 is greater than TA and T1 is greater than T2. Okay, consider T1 is greater than T2 and T2 is greater than TA. So heat will transfer radially outward. Okay, heat will transfer radially outward from this particular surface of cylinder to the external environment, from this particular surface of a cylinder to the external environment. So in that particular case, if you want to write the heat transfer equation, so what we need to consider, first of all, we need to consider that here the cylinder, the innermost rod is solid one. So, and there is no internal diameter for that particular cylinder. So neglect everything about this particular inner cylinder. Just we have to consider the external surface temperature of this solid cylinder. That is nothing but T1. And the external environment temperature is TA. Okay, why we require this? Because the initial temperature for the geometry is T1 and the final temperature for the geometry or for the system is T suffix A. So overall temperature difference will become T1 minus TA. Overall temperature difference become T1 minus TA. Okay, now if you want to write the heat transfer equation, so in that case we have to consider the heat transfer from external surface of this particular solid cylinder to the external surface of insulating material. So that heat transfer is nothing but a conduction heat transfer, and from external surface of a insulating material to the external environment, okay, that heat transfer will be considered as a convection heat transfer. That heat transfer will be considered as a convection heat transfer. So how to write the equation? So we have discussed about the cylinder, and in case of a cylinder, how to write the heat transfer equation in case of a composite cylinder. So the heat transfer from the surface of solid cylinder to surrounding. Okay, so we have taken delta T or dt as overall temperature difference as T1 minus TA. Okay, T1 minus TA. And in case of a cylinder or a hollow cylinder, we know that the thermal resistance, okay, thermal resistance offered for the conduction, okay, thermal resistance offered for the conduction is nothing but ln of R2 divided by R1 whole divided by 2 pi KL. That is the resistance offered by the insulating material for the heat transfer, and that particular insulating material having the cylindrical geometry. Okay, that particular insulating material is also having the cylindrical geometry. Okay, now the next one is the heat transfer from the external surface of insulating material to the external environment, and that resistance we have to write over here. that is nothing but 1 divided by h naught multiplied by 2 pi l multiplied by r2. Okay, 2 pi l multiplied by r2. So h naught is the heat transfer coefficient and 2 pi l r2 is the surface area available for the heat transfer from the external surface of an insulating material to the external environment. So that total resistance is the addition of a conduction resistance and conduction resistance offered by insulating material for the heat transfer and the resistance offered from heat transfer from external surface to the external environment. Okay, that two resistance we have to consider, and addition of these two resistance will give you the total thermal resistance offered for heat transfer. Okay, so this will be the equation. Q is equal to T1 minus TA whole divided by ln of R2 divided by R1 divided by 2 pi KL plus 1 upon H naught multiplied by 2 pi L multiplied by R2. Okay, and if you want to rearrange the terms, if you want to take the 2 pi L is common in the denominator side, 2 pi L, if you take it common and if you shift to the numerator side, 2 pi L is common in the denominator, 1 upon 2 pi KL. Okay, 1 upon 2 pi L is common in the denominator if you take it common and if you shift to the numerator side. So then the equation will become Q is equal to 2 pi L T1 minus TA whole divided by ln of R2 divided by R1 divided by K plus 1 upon H naught multiplied by R2 plus 1 upon H naught multiplied by R2. हाँ, यहाँ तक तो हम आ गए. Now what will happen further? Okay, now once again what we have discussed for the wall case, same thing we are going to discuss for the cylinder. Okay, same case we are going to discuss for the cylinder. Now here, in case of a cylinder, if you want to increase the thickness of a insulating material, ये जो ब्लैंक वाला सर्कल है, ओके, जो स्पेस दिख रही है, ब्लैंक स्पेस दिख रही है यहाँ पे, वो क्या है? इंसुलेटिंग मटेरियल की थिकनेस है. ओके, अब हमें इंसुलेटिंग मटेरियल की थिकनेस बढ़ानी है. ओके, जो इनिशियल है वो बढ़ानी है. ओके, जो R2, consider that R2 radius is 10 centimeter and if you make it 15 centimeter, okay, then what will happen about the area available for heat transfer? What will happen for the area available for the heat transfer? जब हमने क्या, फिर से सुनिएगा, जो R2 रेडियस है, थिकनेस मतलब क्या? ये जो ब्लैंक सरफेस है, ब्लैंक दिख रहा है यहाँ पे, वो इंसुलेशन मटेरियल का क्या है? थिकनेस है. ये थिकनेस हमने बढ़ाई, यानी कि क्या? R2 रेडियस बढ़ाया हमने, R2 रेडियस बढ़ाया, तो आपका एरिया वैसे के वैसा रहेगा या चेंज हो जाएगा? आपका एरिया वैसे के वैसा रहेगा या चेंज हो जाएगा? प्लीज आंसर इन द कमेंट बॉक्स और एल्स यू कैन अनम्यूट एंड यू कैन आंसर. R2 हमने बढ़ाया तो आपका एरिया फॉर द हीट ट्रांसफर जो है वो वैसे के वैसा रहेगा या चेंज हो जाएगा? इंसुलेशन की थिकनेस बढ़ाई, R2 बढ़ाना मतलब क्या? इंसुलेशन की थिकनेस बढ़ाना, और इंसुलेशन की थिकनेस बढ़ाई तो R2 बढ़ जाएगा, और R2 बढ़ेगा तो एरिया अवेलेबल फॉर द हीट ट्रांसफर जितना है उतना रहेगा या चेंज हो जाएगा? Please answer. So this is the basic concept. Change area. Okay. Area will change. Okay. Is there any another opinion? Area will change. Okay. Is there any another opinion or same opinion? ओके, सो आई विल टेल यू नाउ. सो R2 बढ़ेगा तो एरिया भी बढ़ जाएगा ना. यहाँ पे देख लो, ये थिकनेस बढ़ गया तो एरिया मतलब क्या होता है? सिलेंडर का एरिया क्या होता है? 2 पाई RL होता है सिलेंडर का एरिया. तो R2 बढ़ेगा तो एरिया भी बढ़ जाएगा. ओके, अब इसका इफेक्ट हीट ट्रांसफर पर कैसे पड़ता है वो हमें देखना है. ओके, या व्हाट विल हैपन in case of a heat transfer. Okay, so we have discussed that this is the equation. This is Q is equal to 2 pi L T1 minus TA whole divided by ln of R2 divided by R1 divided by K plus 1 upon H naught multiply by R2. ओके, सो ये जो टर्म है ये कंडक्शन की टर्म है, कंडक्शन रेजिस्टेंस है, और ये जो टर्म है ये 1 डिवाइडेड बाय H नॉट मल्टीप्लाई बाय R2, ये जो टर्म है वो कन्वेक्शन की टर्म है. ओके, कन्वेक्शन की टर्म है. ओके, और कन्वेक्शन रेजिस्टेंस है, हम कह सकते हैं कन्वेक्शन रेजिस्टेंस है. तो इसमें R2 चेंज किया, R2 बढ़ाया तो क्या होगा, R2 बढ़ाया तो क्या होगा, ये ln ऑफ R2 डिवाइडेड बाय R1 डिवाइडेड बाय K, ये कंडक्शन की जो टर्म है वो क्या होगी, बढ़ जाएगी. ओके, नाउ दूसरी जो टर्म है 1 डिवाइडेड बाय H नॉट मल्टीप्लाई बाय R2. ओके, 1 डिवाइडेड बाय H नॉट मल्टीप्लाई बाय R2. R2 बढ़ाया तो इस टर्म में क्या इफेक्ट होगा, इस टर्म में क्या इफेक्ट होगा, ये टर्म बढ़ जाएगी या कम हो जाएगी. 1 डिवाइडेड बाय H नॉट मल्टीप्लाई बाय R2, R2 बढ़ाया तो ये टर्म कम हो जाएगी या बढ़ जाएगी. आंसर दिस क्वेश्चन. R2 बढ़ेगा, ये तो बढ़ जाएगा, थर्मल कंडक्टिविटी रेजिस्टेंस विल इंक्रीज, बट व्हाट विल हैपन अबाउट द कन्वेक्टिव रेजिस्टेंस टर्म, yes, it will get decreases, it will get decreases. 1 upon H naught multiply by R2 है, जब हम R2 बढ़ाएंगे तो ये टर्म क्या होगी आपकी, कम हो जाएगी. यानी क्या होगा, थर्मल रेजिस्टेंस फॉर कन्वेक्शन रेजिस्टेंस, कन्वेक्शन हीट ट्रांसफर, थर्मल रेजिस्टेंस फॉर कन्वेक्शन हीट ट्रांसफर विल गेट डिक्रीजेस, विल गेट डिक्रीजेस. अब यही तो फंडा है इसमें. वॉल केस में क्या होता था, एरिया कांस्टेंट रहता था, थिकनेस कितना भी बढ़ाओ, एरिया फॉर द हीट ट्रांसफर विल रिमेन्स कांस्टेंट. सो हमने थिकनेस बढ़ाया, थर्मल रेजिस्टेंस बढ़ गया और हीट ट्रांसफर क्या हो गई, कम हो गई. बट इन केस ऑफ अ सिलिंड्रिकल ज्योमेट्री, इफ यू इंक्रीज द थिकनेस ऑफ अ इंसुलेशन, योर thermal resistance for conduction will get increased, but the thermal resistance for convection will get decreased. Okay, will get decreased. Getting everyone? सबको ये पॉइंट पता चल गया, समझ में आया, ध्यान में आया? Is there any doubt, any question? You can ask now only. Okay, important point. R2 बढ़ा रहा है तो थर्मल कंडक्टिविटी पे क्या इफेक्ट मिला, और कन्वेक्टिव थर्मल रेजिस्टेंस फॉर कंडक्शन पर क्या इफेक्ट मिला, थर्मल रेजिस्टेंस फॉर कन्वेक्शन पे क्या इफेक्ट मिला. समझ में आया सबको? तो अब हमें आगे जाना चाहिए. नाउ हियर द टोटल थर्मल रेजिस्टेंस. ओके, टोटल थर्मल रेजिस्टेंस. सो थर्मल रेजिस्टेंस किस दो चीजों से बना है, थर्मल रेजिस्टेंस फॉर कंडक्शन और थर्मल रेजिस्टेंस फॉर कन्वेक्शन. नाउ हियर टोटल थर्मल रेजिस्टेंस इज मेड अप ऑफ conductive thermal resistance and convective thermal resistance. If we increase the radius of insulation or thickness of a insulation, then convective thermal resistance decreases due to increase in surface area, and total thermal resistance may actually decreases and resulting in increasing heat flow. क्या बोलता है ये सेंटेंस, ध्यान से पढ़ो सब. जब हम थिकनेस बढ़ाते हैं सिलेंडर की केस में, जब हम इंसुलेशन का थिकनेस बढ़ाते हैं, तब कन्वेक्टिव थर्मल रेजिस्टेंस क्या होता है, कम हो जाता है. कंडक्टिव थर्मल रेजिस्टेंस क्या होता है, बढ़ जाता है. बट जो टोटल इफेक्ट है रेजिस्टेंस का, जो टोटल ये दोनों कंबाइन करके हमें जो इफेक्ट मिलता है रेजिस्टेंस का, वो एक्चुअली क्या होता है, कम हो जाता है. एक्चुअल में क्या होना चाहिए, क्या होना चाहिए, थिकनेस बढ़ाया तो क्या होना चाहिए, रेजिस्टेंस भी बढ़ना चाहिए और हीट ट्रांसफर कम होना चाहिए. बट इन केस ऑफ अ सिलिंड्रिकल ज्योमेट्री क्या होता है, टोटल थर्मल रेजिस्टेंस कम हो जाता है थिकनेस बढ़ाएगा तो उसकी वजह से क्या होता है, आपका हीट फ्लो बढ़ जाता है, आपका हीट फ्लो बढ़ जाता है. यानी कि when we increase the thickness of a insulation in case of a cylindrical or spherical geometry, next we will discuss about the spherical geometry also. In case of a cylindrical or spherical geometry, if you increase the thickness of an insulation, the convective resistance will get decreased and conductive resistance will get increased. But in actual, the total thermal resistance will get decreased and resulting in increasing heat flow. Increasing in heat flow. Okay, उल्टा हो रहा है सब कुछ, उल्टा हो रहा है सब कुछ। यहाँ पे रेजिस्टेंस कम हो रहा है और हीट फ्लो बढ़ रहा है। ओके, क्यों हो रहा है? एरिया बढ़ जाएगा, आप थिकनेस बढ़ाएंगे तो एरिया बढ़ जाएगा, एरिया बढ़ेगा तो अवेलेबल एरिया फॉर द हीट ट्रांसफर बढ़ जाएगा और उसकी वजह से कन्वेक्टिव रेजिस्टेंस कम हो जाएगा एंड इन एक्चुअल टोटल थर्मल रेजिस्टेंस भी कम हो जाएगा। इसकी वजह से हीट फ्लो में बढ़ोतरी मिल जाएगी, हीट फ्लो में बढ़ोतरी मिल जाएगी। ओके, समझ में आ रहा है सबको? समझ में आ रहा है सबको? इज देयर एनी डाउट, एनी क्वेश्चन? ओके, नाउ if you plot the graph for the heat transfer with respect to insulator radius, okay, with respect to insulator radius for the same geometry, if you draw the graph heat transfer versus insulator radius, insulator radius कौन सा है? R2 है, तो हमने R2 x एक्सिस पे लिया और हीट ट्रांसफर रेट y एक्सिस पे लिया। इनिशियली क्या देखने को मिला हमें कि जैसे जैसे R2 बढ़ता जा रहा है, जैसे जैसे R2 बढ़ता जा रहा है, यानी कि इंसुलेशन का रेडियस बढ़ता जा रहा है, हीट ट्रांसफर रेट भी वैसे वैसे बढ़ता जा रहा है। ओके, और एक पॉइंट पे आके हमें मैक्सिमम हीट ट्रांसफर रेट मिलता है। ओके, एक पॉइंट पे आके हमें मैक्सिमम हीट ट्रांसफर मिलता है और फिर बाद में और फिर आगे और भी हमने इंसुलेशन का रेडियस बढ़ाया तो हीट ट्रांसफर रेट कम कम होता जा रहा है। ओके, so what you say about this? If you plot the graph in insulating radius versus heat transfer rate, okay, insulating radius versus heat transfer rate, as we increase the insulating radius, okay, as we increase the insulating radius, the heat transfer rate goes on increasing and it will be maximum at particular point and then it will goes on decreasing. Okay, it will goes on decreasing. So the radius at which the heat transfer rate is maximum, okay, ध्यान से सुनो ये बात, the radius, insulating radius at which the heat transfer rate is maximum, that particular radius is called as critical radius of insulation for the cylinder or sphere. Okay, that particular radius or that particular thickness is called as critical insulation of radius for the cylinder or critical thickness of insulation for the cylinder. समझ में आ रही है ये बात? समझ में आ रही है ये बात? So हम अब रीड करते हैं at R2, okay, इस पॉइंट पे R2 is equal to RC means what? At the point which or the radius at which we are getting the maximum heat transfer. Okay, so उसे हमने नॉमेनक्लेचर क्या कर दिया? RC कर दिया। Okay, R2 is equal to RC. At R2 is equal to RC, the rate of increase of conductive resistance of insulation is equal to rate of decrease of convective resistance, is equal to rate of decrease of convective resistance, thus giving the minimum value of sum of thermal resistance. Okay, इस पॉइंट पे क्या हो रहा है? इस पॉइंट पे क्या हो रहा है? इस पॉइंट पे जितने रेट से कंडक्टिव रेजिस्टेंस बढ़ रहा है, ओके, हमने इंसुलेशन का रेडियस बढ़ाया तो कंडक्टिव रेजिस्टेंस क्या होगा? बढ़ जाएगा। ओके, तो इस पॉइंट पे क्या हो रहा है? R2 इज इक्वल टू RC पॉइंट पे क्या हो रहा है? जिस रेट से कंडक्टिव रेजिस्टेंस बढ़ रहा है उसी रेट से कन्वेक्टिव रेजिस्टेंस कम हो रहा है, उसी रेट से कन्वेक्टिव रेजिस्टेंस कम हो रहा है। तो उस पॉइंट पे हमें मैक्सिमम हीट ट्रांसफर मिल जाएगा। ओके, कौन से पॉइंट पे? ऐसा एक पॉइंट होगा जहां पे कंडक्टिव रेजिस्टेंस जिस रेट से बढ़ रहा है उस रेट से ही कन्वेक्टिव रेजिस्टेंस कम हो रहा है और घट रहा है। ओके, उस पॉइंट को हमें मैक्सिमम हीट ट्रांसफर रेट मिल जाएगा और उस मैक्सिमम हीट ट्रांसफर रेट जिस रेडियस पर मिल रहा है हमें, उस रेडियस को और उस थिकनेस को हमें क्रिटिकल रेडियस ऑफ इंसुलेशन और क्रिटिकल थिकनेस ऑफ इंसुलेशन बोल सकते हैं। क्रिटिकल थिकनेस ऑफ इंसुलेशन बोल सकते हैं। So the thickness up to which heat flow increases, okay, the thickness up to which heat flow increases and after which heat flow decreases is termed as critical thickness. The thickness up to which the heat flow increases and after which heat flow decreases is termed as critical thickness. Now in case of a cylinder and sphere, it is called as a critical radius. In case of a cylinder and sphere, it is called as a critical radius. समझ में आया पॉइंट ए? ओके, सो अप टू सर्टन रेडियस, हमने रेडियस बढ़ाते गए तो हमें क्या समझ में आ रहा है कि रेट ऑफ हीट ट्रांसफर भी बढ़ते जा रहा है और एक पॉइंट में हमें मैक्सिमम हीट ट्रांसफर मिल गया, ओके, और उसके बाद हमने रेडियस बढ़ाया तो हीट ट्रांसफर में कमी आने लगी और वो हीट ट्रांसफर क्या हो रहा, कम हो जा रहा है. फर्दर वी इंक्रीज द radius of a insulation, okay, but at one point we are getting the maximum heat transfer rate, okay, at one point or at one radius we are getting the maximum heat transfer and that particular radius is called as a critical radius of insulation. Is there any doubt, any question in this particular point? Whether you understood? I have compared the wall with the cylinder, okay. In case of a cylinder wall, we have discussed that there is no change in an area for the heat transfer, okay, or there will be no change in the area if you increase the thickness. So as we increase the thickness of an insulation, the thermal resistance will goes on increasing and because of that heat transfer rate goes on decreasing. But in case of a cylinder, it is not like wall, okay. If you increase the thickness of an insulation, the area available for the heat transfer is also goes on increasing and that will affect on the thermal resistance or convective thermal resistance. उसका परिणाम convective resistance पे होता है. convective thermal resistance कम होने लगता है और उसकी वजह से total thermal resistance में भी कमी आती है और उसकी वजह से heat transfer बढ़ने लगता है, उसकी वजह से heat transfer बढ़ने लगता है. समझ में आई ये बात? So जिस पॉइंट तक ये हीट ट्रांसफर बढ़ता है और उसके बाद वो कम होने लगता है, उस पॉइंट का जो रेडियस है और वो मैक्सिमम हीट ट्रांसफर रेट के रिलेटेड का जो रेडियस है, उस रेडियस को हमें क्रिटिकल रेडियस ऑफ इंसुलेशन बोलना है. उस रेडियस को हमें क्रिटिकल रेडियस ऑफ इंसुलेशन बोलना है. गेटिंग एवरीवन? इज देयर एनी डाउट, एनी क्वेश्चन? Okay, so further now we have to consider one equation, initial equation only, what we have discussed for the cylinder. In case of a cylinder, we will get this particular equation: Q is equal to 2 pi L into bracket T1 minus TA whole divided by ln of R2 divided by R1 divided by K plus 1 upon H naught multiplied by R2. Consider this as a equation number 1. Already we have discussed this and this equation is applied for the particular diagram only, okay. So from equation 1 we can say that as R2 increases, the factor ln of R2 divided by R1 divided by K, which is that factor, this one, this factor increases, but the factor 1 upon H naught multiplied by R2, which is that factor 1 upon H naught divided by 1 upon H naught multiplied by R2, this factor decreases. Thus Q becomes maximum when denominator becomes minimum. जब है ये जो डिनोमिनेटर है, इस इक्वेशन का डिनोमिनेटर क्या है, ये रेजिस्टेंस के जो दो टर्म है वो इसका डिनोमिनेटर है. ये रेजिस्टेंस के दो टर्म है, ये उसका डिनोमिनेटर है इस इक्वेशन का. सो Q becomes maximum. Q कब मैक्सिमम होगा? जब ये डिनोमिनेटर मिनिमम होगा तब Q क्या होगा? मैक्सिमम होगा. So Q become maximum when denominator becomes minimum. We have to differentiate denominator with respect to R only because we have to differentiate denominator with respect to R2 only because R2 only is the variable. Okay, so in this equation we have to differentiate only denominator. Okay, in this equation we have to differentiate only denominator because the R2 term is available in the denominator only. Okay, R2 term is available only in the denominator only. Okay, and so that we have to differentiate the denominator only and with respect to R2 only, because R2 is the only variable. Okay, because we are changing the thickness of insulation. थिकनेस यानी कि क्या, थिकनेस क्या होता है, थिकनेस बढ़ाई तो क्या होगा, R2 चेंज होगा, थिकनेस कम की तो क्या होगा, R2 कम हो जाएगा. ओके, सो इंसुलेशन का जो रेडियस है वही वेरिएबल है, वही वेरिएबल है, तो हमें डिनोमिनेटर ही खाली डिफरेंशिएट करना है विथ रिस्पेक्ट टू R2. So we have selected only denominator. We have selected only denominator for the differentiation with respect to R2. So we have to differentiate denominator with respect to R2 only, because R2 only is a variable. R2 only is a variable. So here we have taken the differentiation of the denominator with respect to R2 and we have equated it equal to 0. We have equated it equal to 0. So differentiation with respect to R2 of bracket ln of R2 divided by R1 divided by K plus 1 upon H naught multiplied by R2 square bracket complete is equal to 0. Is equal to 0. Getting everyone? Is there any question, any doubt? Now further, if you want to make it a simpler one, we have to separate out this ln term. Okay, so we have to use the logarithmic rule to separate out this particular logarithmic term. Ln of R2 divided by R1, which is equal to ln of R2 minus ln of R1. Okay, and if you provide the k to the different terms, we'll get this equation. Okay, so ln of R2 divided by R1 will become ln of R2 divided by K minus ln of R1 divided by K plus. Now if you want to differentiate 1 upon R2, you can directly differentiate if you remember the differentiation formulas, or else take this R2 to the numerator side, so it will become R2 raised to minus 1, so that it will be simpler for the differentiation. R2 raised to minus 1. So I'm not remembering the differentiation formula, so that I will take that particular R2 to the numerator side, and it will becomes R2 raised to minus 1. So now it will be easy for me to differentiate this particular term. Okay, so I have initially, what I have done, I have separate out this particular R2 and R1 by applying the logarithmic rule, ln of R2 divided by R1, which is equal to ln of R2 minus ln of R1. Okay, and that will be easy for the differentiation. That will be easy for the differentiation. So ln of x, okay, and differentiation of log x is 1 upon x. We know that differentiation of log x is 1 upon x. So differentiation of ln of R2 with respect to R2 is 1 upon R2. Okay, is 1 upon R2. Okay, multiply by 1 upon K. 1 upon K is the constant we have kept as it is, plus. Now here in this particular second term, minus ln of R1 divided by K. R2 term is not present. We are differentiating this particular bracket with respect to R2. But in this particular term, R2 is not present. So the differentiation of ln of R1 divided by K will be equal to 0. Will be equal to 0. Okay. Now we have taken R2 on the numerator side and it will become R2 raised to minus 1. So differentiation of R2 raised to minus 1 will become minus 1 multiplied by R2 raised to minus 1 minus 1 minus 1. Oh, so it will become minus 1 multiplied by R2 raised to minus 2. R2 raised to minus 2. Okay, getting everyone? Now take it in a simpler format. We have removed out the 0 and now I have taken this R2 raised to minus 2 the denominator side. The term becomes 1 upon R2 multiplied by 1 upon K minus 1 upon H naught multiplied by R2 raised to 2, which is equal to 0. Now shift one of the term to the another side. Okay, so we will get the equation as 1 upon R2 multiplied by 1 upon K is equal to 1 upon H naught multiplied by R2 square. Okay, so R2 and R2 square square will be cancelled with the R2. Okay, and I will get the equation as or else if you want to take the cross multiplication, so you can directly take. So the equation will become R2 multiplied by K is equal to H naught multiplied by R2 square. If you the R2 square and R2 will be cancelled and it will remain only R2 on this side. Okay, and if you want to convert this equation in the form of R2, so R2 is equal to RC, that is the critical thickness of critical radius of insulation, and which is equal to K divided by H naught in case of a cylinder. In case of a cylinder, and this is the important equation. In case of a cylinder, critical radius of insulation, critical radius of insulation, R2 is equal to RC is equal to K divided by H naught. R2 is equal to RC is equal to K divided by H naught in case of a cylinder. In case of a cylinder. Getting everyone? Is there any question, any doubt? Is there any question, any doubt? Okay. So we'll write from the start now. If you have any doubt, you can ask immediately. Okay. So we'll complete the writing part and then we'll stop this particular lecture. So writing part is also important. Write down the heading, critical thickness oblique radius of insulation. Write down heading, critical thickness oblique radius of insulation. Critical thickness oblique radius of insulation. Write down what is meant by insulation. Insulation, insulation, the material or a material which retards, a material which retards, a material which retards, a material which retards the flow of heat, a material which retards the flow of heat, a material which retards the flow of heat with reasonable effectiveness, with reasonable effectiveness, material which retards the flow of heat with reasonable effectiveness is known as insulation. Is known as insulation. Full stop. Is known as insulation. Full stop. Next line. It prevents heat flow from it prevents the heat flow from the system to surrounding. It prevents the heat flow from the system to surrounding system to surrounding. Full stop. Full stop. Next line. Next line. It prevents the heat flow from it prevents the heat flow from it prevents the heat flow from the surrounding to the system. It prevents the heat flow from the surrounding to the system. It prevents the heat flow from the surrounding to the system. Applications of insulation. Write down applications of insulation. Where we require the insulation. Okay. So first one is boiler and steam pipes. Boiler and steam pipe. Now if the boiler is having cylindrical shape, if the steam is having or steam pipe is a cylindrical geometry, okay, if boiler is having spherical shape, then in that particular case, the critical thickness of insulation plays very much important role. Getting everyone? So applications of insulation, write down. First one, boiler and steam pipe. Boiler and steam pipe. Second one, air conditioning system. Air conditioning system. air conditioning system, air conditioning system. Third one, food preservation, food preserving stores, food preserving stores, food preserving stores, and refrigerators, and refrigerators, and refrigerators. Fourth one, fourth one, insulating bricks, insulating bricks, insulating bricks, insulating bricks, employed in various types of furnaces, insulating bricks employed in various types of furnaces. Then preservation of liquid gases, etc. 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 Okay. Then write down factors affecting on thermal conductivity of insulating material. Factors affecting on thermal conductivity of insulating material. Whether my screen is visible? One minute, one minute. Okay. So due to internet problem, I think I'm unable to present now. But you can write. I will dictate. Okay. Factors affecting on thermal conductivity of insulating material. Factors affecting on thermal conductivity of insulating material. Factors affecting on thermal conductivity of insulating material. We'll complete this point and we'll stop. Okay. So factors affecting on insulating material. First one, temperature. First one, temperature. First one, temperature. In that, write down, for most of the insulating material, for most of the insulating material, the value of K, the value of K, for most of the insulating material, the value of K, K yani thermal conductivity. Okay, the value of K, the value of K increases with temperature. The value of K increases with temperature. The value of K increases with temperature. Okay, full stop. Second one, density, density, density. Second one, density. density. In that, write down, there is there is there is no mathematical relationship. There is no mathematical relationship. There is no mathematical relationship between 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 thermal conductivity and density. There is no mathematical relationship between thermal conductivity and density. Thermal conductivity and density. Full stop. Full stop. The common understanding that the common understanding that high density insulating material, high density insulating material, the high density insulating material will have will have will have higher value of K, will have higher value of K. The high density insulating material will have higher value of K, but is not always true. But is not always true. But is not always true. Full stop. Third factor, direction of heat flow. Third factor, direction of heat flow. Direction of heat flow. Write down, for most of for most of for most of the insulating material, for most of the insulating material, for most of the insulating material, for most of insulating material, for most of the insulating material, the effect of direction of heat flow, the effect of direction of heat flow, the effect of the direction of heat flow on the value K, on the value K is negligible. On the value K is negligible. On the value K is negligible. Full stop. Fourth one, moisture. Fourth one, moisture. Fourth one, moisture. In that, write down, it is always considered necessary. It is always considered necessary. It is always considered necessary. It is always considered necessary to prevent ingress of moisture, to prevent ingress of moisture. It is always considered necessary to prevent ingress of moisture in the insulating material, in the insulating material during service, during service, during service. Full stop. It is however, it is however, it is however difficult to find, it is however difficult to find, it is however difficult to find the effect of moisture, it is however difficult to find the effect of moisture, effect of moisture on the value of K, on the value of K, K means thermal conductivity, on the value of K of different insulating material, of different insulating material. Full stop. Fifth one, fifth one, air pressure, air pressure, pressure, air pressure. It has been found that it has been found that it has been found that the value of k it has been found that it has been found that the value of k decreases with decrease in pressure. It has been found that the value of k decreases with decrease in pressure. Okay, and the last one, convection. Last factor, sixth one, convection in insulator. Convection in insulator. Convection in insulator. Convection in insulator. In that, write down the value of k. The value of k increases. The value of k increases due to phenomenon of the value of k increases due to phenomenon of due to phenomenon of due to phenomenon of convection due to phenomenon of convection in insulator in insulator in insulator. Full stop. Okay, so further concept part we will I will give you write up part in next lecture. Okay, so we'll stop here and just put up your roll numbers in the chat box. If you have any doubt, any question about the concept, you can ask here only, because the concept is most important part of this particular heat transfer subject, critical thickness of insulation. Okay, well understood, no problem. But if not, try to understand this particular concept. I'll share the study material. Please go and check YouTube videos I have uploaded. If you'll not understood anything, you go there and you recheck the video and try to understand. If then also you have any problem, please contact me, and or visit to college, try to meet your teacher and try to resolve your problem. Okay, so we'll stop here. Put up your roll numbers in the chat box as early as possible, and if you don't have any question, then you can leave this meeting as early as possible.